are still same, but we gotta remain. I wanna ball, there's a food in my frame. We gotta maintain, but it's beating my brain. There is a stone in front of my door. 3 days more, are you really alright? Can you touch me tonight? I've been missing out on love, on love, on love, on love. You put my future at stake. I want a jailbreak. I've been missing out on love. 3 days to go. 3 days to resurrection of love. 3 days to go. 3 days to resurrection of love. I'm gonna stay in the bunker today. I wanna roll with Soteria. I'm gonna stay in the bunker today. I wanna roll with Soteria. It's a lucka, and I gotta remain in the lucka, just to keep them all sane. But this lucka seems to drive me insane. Lucky, I feel lucky today. Are you really alright? Can you touch me tonight? My baby stays 14 more days. My baby stays 14 more days. I'm done with it all.
I had it all figured out. Necklace for screams and shouts. I won't be back again. Could see the game up there. Watch waves and hang from there. I won't forget. She said you're too high. You can't fly. Just get down. You're too high. You can't fly. Just get down. We had it all figured out from a mountain down. What were we gonna do? I'm supposed to be running on my own. I don't know which way to go. Why the hell am I stuck in my home? It's the only thing I know. I'm too high. I can't fly. I'm burned out. Tell me where to go, where I should go. Tell me where to go, where I should go. Tell me where to go, where I should go. Tell me where to go, where I should go. Tell me where to go, where I should go. Tell me where to go, where I should go. Tell me where to go, where I should go. Tell me where to go. You're too high, you can't fly. Just get down. You're too high, you can't fly. Just get down. You're too high, you can't fly. Just get down. I'm too high, I can't fly. I'm burned out.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Ben from Universal Audio, and thank you for your patience. Welcome to today's live stream. We're joined again by the one and only Jacquire King. Jacquire, how you doing today?
I'm good, Ben. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for bearing with us on a few technical difficulties. A little bit of a slow start this morning with some of the crazy cloud configuration, all the stuff that we have going in the background to pull off this level of a show. But man, I am so excited to be here again with you today. For anyone that missed yesterday, let's catch people up. What did they miss out on in yesterday's show?
Well, I'm glad to be here too. It was a lot of fun yesterday. Yesterday we talked about we had the band play live, sort of show the composition, and sort of demonstrate and replay what the basic track was, and then we went instrument by instrument, bass, keyboards, drums, guitar, and just talked about the recording process, how we arrived at the sounds that we have, and then looked at some alternate recording paths to record the same material, and just compared and discussed the sonic differences between, like on the bass. Gosh, I forget, what did we everything was the basic track, everything was done through Neve 1084s, and then on the bass, I think, didn't we do the 610B?
Yeah, we tried out the the 610 on the bass. We tried API Vision Series on the drums. For the guitar, I think we actually what did we switch to? Was it the SSL?
Helios.
The Helios, yeah.
Helios. We went and maybe keyboards. We did the SSL.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, we got a good look at different things, different compressors as well, like some things that are not only just Unison, but some elements of the record paths. And just talked about the setup, so where we left off is we got through replays and demonstrations of what the basic tracks were yesterday, and then so today we're going to talk about what additional things we did to the track in terms of recording, and then we're going to do the vocals today.
Nice. Well, before we really dive in, though, I know one of the other big things that everyone was super excited about yesterday was the coupon the coupon drops that we were going to do. Actually, we did do 2 of them, but then things went a little bit crazy, so we went back to the drawing board. We figured out an even better deal for all of you guys here in the chat. So instead of it being a limited use coupon where only one person gets a discount and a bunch of people accidentally paid full price, instead of that happening today, what we decided to do instead is everyone that's here watching the live stream today, we're going to drop a coupon in the chat here in a moment that everyone in the chat can use. All of you guys can use this coupon. It is no longer a race to use the coupon. And we've actually made the deal potentially even better, because instead of $100 off, it is now 50% off any Unison plugin, whether it's a preamp, a channel strip, a guitar amp, a bass amp. All of our Unison plugins, 50% off with this code that's about to appear in the chat. The code's only going to work until midnight tonight, so don't dawdle on this. And it cannot be combined with any other offers. So it's but can't be combined with other offers, but you can actually it applies to your whole cart for anything. So if you have multiple Unison plugins in your cart, you'll get 50% off all of those Unison plugins. So potentially you're going to save more than $100, which is it kind of makes this. Hopefully this makes everybody feel right. If anyone accidentally paid full price yesterday, make sure you're contacting customer support. They'll take care of you as well. We're making this right for everybody. So with that, I think if I time this right, 3, 2, 1, coupon should be coming up here in the chat. It might be 30 seconds delayed. It's hard to tell. It might be 30 seconds early. Either way, guys, enjoy the coupon code. Grab some Unison plugins. We're going to keep on geeking out on preamps and Unison plugins today with Jacquire and focusing in on the vocals. But the other thing I got to mention is that if you don't have an Apollo already, now is actually the perfect time to be getting an Apollo or adding another Apollo to your setup, because we're doing a promotion that if you buy an Apollo, whether it's a twin, an X4, or a rack mount, you can get up to $2,000 worth of of UAD plugins along with that. This includes like the Neve 1084, the UA 175, 176, which are a couple of the ones that we showed off yesterday. So yeah, if you're at all in the market for upgrading your interface or adding to your existing Apollo, go for it. This is definitely a time to do it. There's like less than a week left on that deal, so I highly recommend taking advantage of it. And now with all the selling, all the coupons delivered, the promo delivered, we can now start talking about music again. Jacquire, let's pull up the session, man, and kind of walk people through the overdub process. Because obviously, what we kind of got to check out a lot yesterday was the full take, the full band kind of laying down the basic tracks. So how do you typically approach the overdub process?
Well, typically the first thing that I would typically do, it depends, but the first thing I typically do is I would do some percussion overdubs and get that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to play the track as it is as a basic track?
Let's check that out first. Let's hear get it fresh in our memories what we're starting with, and then let's add in the layers.
Yeah. I'll just sort of start it at the second verse, just because that's where the percussion overdubs will start when we get there. Okay, so what we have for the track, we did at the end of the day yesterday get to doing a guitar double and talking about that. So right now we're hearing the basic tracks, drums, bass, guitar, and keyboards with the guitar doubled. So we have the double guitar in already because we got to that. So right here, these two tracks here there's some kungas, but the way we did a lot of the kungas and the E-kick is from a V-drum set that we had on hand. So the first thing that we did was this kunga overdub, and so this is because it's a V-drum kit, we just used. Let's see what our path was. Just remind ourselves.
You're showing off one of the really cool features here in Luna, right? Is that anytime you record and enable a track, it brings back the path that you were using. So it makes, if you had to come in today and do these overdubs again, you can actually, without having to patch anything in, get back to the same exact sound.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sort of documented. I don't have to write anything down because it's all documented. I used the 1084, so it saves the setting there, which I didn't really do any EQ.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I'm just adding gain on the preamp for the DI. I typically, I'll just point this out. I did not use the EQ circuit in terms of adding or doing anything with the EQ, but the EQ circuit is in. That's typically for me a preferred sound to go through the circuitry of the module, and that's true of anything, not just Neve, but I typically like most of the time to have the signal go all the way through the EQ path, even though I may not be equalizing it. And because there are enabled to do the amplification and the EQ processing, there is more circuit involved, and sometimes another amplifier, and so it just kind of gives it more color and tone and character. So that definitely this is even if you're not going to do some EQing, this is still a decision to consider.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love that it's all just right here as I left it, So we did a little bit of compression, just a light bit of compression. So, and then we doubled the kunga part. So again, this is off of, at the time, we had like in basic tracking, we had already had it set up, and we had the V-drum output we just had a single output going to a mono DI. So when we started doing the overdubs with the V drums, it was just in mono. So that's one of the reasons I doubled it, because I wanted to have kind of a stereo image of the guitar. I mean, not the guitar, excuse me, the kungas. But but then also Logan played them a little bit differently too, so there's a little bit of interest there. So
Which is
I'll start
that's
it.
the great way to get a good double sound, right? Is just do it twice. So that way you get slight human variation between the two sides.
100%. You're totally right, and you know, oftentimes that's a preferable way. Sometimes it takes a little more effort just to kind of get the performance locked with what exists, but definitely a preference. And that's what we did with the guitar and the keyboards. It's just the guitar, like yesterday and about the guitar, all we did was we kept the same amp setting and the same aux settings. We just changed the guitar and the pickup position. So that was enough of a color change to differentiate it. So here I'll just start it in the B section, and then you'll hear the congas come in. So kind of a cool little addition there to the syncopation and vibe of things. The next, I'll just kind of do a little cleanup and editing along the way. The next thing we did is we decided to do the shaker.
Okay.
I'll try and just kind of pull this stuff up in the sequence that I remember doing it. Now, I will say as we go through this, I haven't really done any editing to tighten anything yet. There's probably, I don't know, it probably needs 5% of that. So I may hit a little bit of it as we go. Because of the delay in starting today, I'm going to try to move through this stuff a little bit faster. I was thinking I might show just a little bit of editing, but so let's see. Let's check out the shaker. What did we use for that path? Oh, that's right. We just used for the shaker and pretty much all of the percussion overdubs. I used I had Logan just stayed at the drum kit, and we just used the overhead path for the percussion overdubs. So I didn't really change anything significantly from the overhead, other than from what the overhead settings were, except I did crank the gain up so that I had, because the shaker is quieter in the overheads, so I would have more gain, and then so it would touch the compressor a little bit, you know, so that have it just a little bit of control there and get a good signal. So let's just check out what that sounds like. I'll just go a little. I just have those blended in there. Just there. I mean, when I turn them off, you notice that they're gone, but they're not overt. It's just kind of helping the groove and syncopation a little bit.
Well, and I love too since you record these with the overhead, as you guys if you remember from yesterday, the overheads were set up in a Glenn Johns method. So he's got one kind of right more above him, which is the left microphone, and then the right microphone was over by the floor tom. So it's actually, you're getting some panning happening. You know, you're capturing the panning as you're doing it in a sense.
Yes, absolutely, and it's kind of nice because it kind of leans a little bit one way, you know, and gives it a little bit of a. It's not dead center. I mean, of course, I can play with that, you know. I mean, it's not uncommon that I might decide that I don't need both sides, and I might turn it into a mono track and just use one side or the other. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll leave it this way. I just wanted to point out that. Just because you record it a certain way doesn't mean you have to keep it.
Yep.
So yeah, it's like, I don't know. I'll have to listen a little bit more carefully. There's a little bit of lead in here. Probably have it start somewhere in here, but. So then the next thing that we did, so you know that plays out through the rest of the tune. The conga part is only in the second verse. Okay. we did play it through the rest, but I quickly decided that I only wanted to hear it in the second verse, so just arranged it that way. Then I don't remember, because we didn't do. Let's see. Well, now I forget the sequence of what we did. I'm just going to start jumping around.
It doesn't have to be historically accurate. That no one's going to fact check you on this. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's all. It doesn't matter. So we wanted to. So there's this drum fill that goes into the last sort of verse outro section. So here just a little reminder. Here's the drum fill as it was recorded, Logan on the kit. And actually, when we did the basic track, he actually played through here.
Mm-hmm.
He played through here, and we punched this. He didn't like the fill that he played. He didn't like the way he executed it, and there was the thought that maybe the drum should drop out here. So we just punched. This is a punch in here. This bit here.
Mm-hmm.
But then he wanted to add he wanted to double the drum fill. Or he wanted to add to it, and I said, well, that's a great idea. Let's do it so it sounds different. Let's do it with the V drums. So we did this. It would help if I unmuted it. What's that?
Yeah, dude, the Simmons kind of style toms.
Yep, totally. So it just makes it kind of fun. It's just like as we did the overdubs, and we'll get into some of the other ones. We kind of added in some textures, some electronic textures, and just there's some interesting things coming, just to kind of layer it up and kind of give it some texture and depth, and make it a bit more than just the raw performance, the starting performance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only place we just use that. It's like a little specialty sound. It's just a little moment where those tom fills are. Then the last thing that we did with the V drums is I asked for an 808.
Oh, nice.
So we kind of just arranged this as we went. Now, most of these feel pretty good. There's a couple I think later on in the song where I got to tighten them up a little bit. Now, and the thing is like, I'll just remind everybody, this wasn't played to click.
Mm-hmm.
And it just has a feel, and so I'm not going to go in here and make all these 808s hit right with the kick drum. This might be a little far away. I don't know. I have to do some listening, editing later.
Yeah.
But primarily because it's a performance. Now this one probably okay.
Mm-hmm. It's basically a little on, a little behind. Essentially what you'll do right, in the editing process is you're going to listen for any ones that bug you, and any ones that are close enough and not bugging your ear, you're just going to leave them because that's the human element, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not. You're totally right. I want to leave as much of the human element in. I will, exactly like you said, listen first, and the ones that catch my ear and bother me, I'll address those, and just hopefully leave it at that.
Nice.
Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Was there like some strange noise? Oh God. Okay. All good. So I'll just a little bit of the 808. It just makes the downbeats of all the measures really much heavier. Let's go to where it picks up a little bit in the B section and the C section. When I take it away, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
It kind of helps reinforce the aesthetic of it being a little bit kind of hip hop,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
by
absolutely.
putting the sounds in there.
Well, and it's between the kick, the bass, and this 808 and the tom fill as well. Like just the low end, the percussiveness, the energy that's going on down there, it adds just the right amount to it. But more importantly, I really like that it changes, it evolves throughout the tune. So you start off in the A with it kind of spaced out, and then it bunches up to help add more energy to the chorus. Like that's such a, I don't know if you or the drummer kind of came up with that, but it adds life to the arrangement in a good way.
Yeah, it was kind of a combined effort, but and that's typically how it goes. It's like we bounce ideas off of each other, and then everybody, whoever has an opinion, maybe kind of speaks up, and yeah, we just kind of do it together. I mean, ultimately, I kind of solidify most of the decisions, but I'm not the originator of all the ideas, certainly. Because I'm responsible for the overall vision and helping execute things. So absolutely. And so I'll just point this out. Just as I don't know right now that I feel like I need a snare sample. I wanted the 808 to reinforce the aesthetic of the song and kind of just give it a little bit more of the hip hop weight. And I don't know that I need. Sorry, there's just this chord. I don't know that I need a snare sample, but I just had. Since we had the V drums up, I said, "Hey, just shoot me some of this. Give me some of those snares, so that way I've got them if I decide to layer in a snare sample."
Gotcha.
Or program in a little part. The chain on this was so when we moved it over to record the 808 and probably the toms as well, I didn't use anything.
Yeah.
I just went for a super. I didn't put any. I just used the preamp as it is without putting a Unison plugin in, just because I wanted a really clean, uncolored path. Just because I wanted the purest sound of the drum machine. Just like if I was just pulling in an 808 sample, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Let's see what else we got here, Ben, in the percussion world. So in the last section, we add there's 4 more elements. There's a tambourine.
Mm-hmm.
There's a basket that comes in. And so here again, it's the same thing. It's the overheads. Probably didn't even touch it after I got the levels set and got the shaker happening, because these things are the rest of the percussion is sort of at a similar volume as compared to what the gain settings I had when we was playing the drums.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really look like it changed anything setting wise other than increasing the gain.
Gotcha.
So we got a tambourine, a basket, and then I had the guys go out and do a clap track and.
Looks like it's using the overheads
Did
again
we
for
just
all
use
this,
the
right?
overheads? I don't even know where they stand. I'm asking my assistant Dawson. Did they stand behind the kit?
Oh, they stood around.
Around the kit. Okay, so they just kind of stood around the kit and did these claps.
Mm-hmm.
And I would point out that I probably swapped the panning because of speaking to the observation you made before, Ben, about how because of the perspective of the mics and what they capture, it's a little bit kind of lopsided, if you will. So as you can see, I cross-panned them so that the overhead that was over the snare drum and the rack tom is getting the most level, because that's what those guys are standing around. So this way it spreads it out in the stereo field. Okay. You can see here from yesterday, I had the raw pedal going. I had it going virtually on an effect return. So today I need that return for some vocal effects. So I printed the raw track. So this is the drum sound. This is the delay from the drums, it's the distortion from the drums.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else we got? I printed the electric guitar. the electric guitar delay. Okay, so let's get into the keyboards. So we have the original keyboard part. Am I going too fast, Ben, or is this okay?
No, this is good. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
everyone's hungry to get to the vocals too. So I think
Yeah.
the just kind of this overview that we're given here of how you've built up the track and layered on these different sounds is the perfect pace so far. And people are
Cool.
there are a lot of questions about the coupon, obviously. So everyone, hopefully you guys are figuring out there in the chat. But yeah, it's Unison plugins, and it can't be combined with like Custom Shopper if you have some other deal special to your account at the moment. So hopefully you guys are all figuring that out and also enjoying this breakdown here. And then we're gonna get to we'll get to the vocals here in a few minutes.
Yeah, the discount and the coupon is a really great thing. I hope there's a lot of people taking advantage of that.
Yeah. This seems like it. Judging by the chat reaction, it seems like a lot of people are getting good deals right now.
Nice, good. Well, good. It's amazing to get good deals on this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the main keyboard. So we doubled it with, and so I wouldn't have changed the sound at all. I don't think. Let's just confirm. No, looks pretty much the same.
So you're just kind of duplicating the tracks, record enabling, and going, right?
Yep. So I just control click on it, and then I can just duplicate the track, and then it duplicates everything, and then I can just kind of arm it and go.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have the same input armed on two different things. So when I go to arm the keyboard double, it disables the other keyboard that has that same input path.
Makes sense. Yeah, you can't.
Makes sense.
Yep.
And it's convenient. So the two of them. So the new one sounds like. It's got a little bit of, I don't know what you would call that, little flutter modulation.
Yeah, it gives it a different texture, and so it's the same part, same sort of vibe, but now with the panning, with the extra modulation, just makes it a more interesting overall sound.
Yeah, it gives it a bit of depth, and as you notice, it doesn't have as much teeth.
Mm-hmm.
As it's a little duller, but it's got that interest of that sort of fluttery sound.
Yeah.
And that's a similar approach to what we did with the guitars, that kind of keep the spotlight on the main part, brighter, more aggressive part. Use something a little bit darker to double it and spread the stereo field out, but it kind of keeps the spotlight on the original one. And sort of the opposite type of thing for the keyboard. So so what we did is we doubled. How much of it did we double? We doubled pretty much most of it, except in the B sections. Okay, so here's the original sound in the B sections. We wanted instead of using this sound, because it wasn't really quite working as well for the B sections, we switched to yet another sound. Because that fluttery thing wasn't working, and I also wanted, now I'm recalling, I wanted some sustained information going on. Now this may actually need to get cut off here. Let's see here. So that was just kind of hanging on from when making the decision to get a different sound. So here's the new one, and I wanted something that was a little bit of a different texture that had some sustain in it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of got like an organ quality to it. And then for the C, let's see. We already talked about this. So this part, the original part.
Mm-hmm.
You can really in the track you can really hear the first part, the bend. But when it goes to da da da, when it goes down to that part, you kind of lose it a little bit in the track.
Yeah.
So we did a doubling track that had a little bit more bite to it. So sometimes overdubs are about, you know, taking existing parts and trying to find a different sound and texture that will help support and highlight what exists on, you know, maybe the basic track. You know, so sometimes the layering is not just about having a new part or a new sound. It's about supporting and drawing out what is already there.
Well, and adding variety too. Like this is a big thing I see in some people's productions where they kind of layer stuff and they'll layer stuff like this, but they'll just do it for the whole time. And the thing that I think is really cool that you guys are doing here is you're bringing things in and out. You're bringing sounds and elements. They're joining the party and then they're leaving it, you know, coming in for just a section or a riff and then leaving. Like that creates dynamics in the arrangement and in the track, and it's just going to make it, you know, a more exciting production overall.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and that's when you just put the same layers. Now I realize that we did that on the guitar, but that seemed like the appropriate move. But with the keyboards, because the kind of sounds change and the parts change dramatically, yeah, adding these different sounds, highlighting the different sections, and really making the sections even more stand apart from one another sonically as well.
Totally. And I was like, I see a blue track in here. In a sea of pink, there's a blue labeled flute. What you brought a flute player in? What's this part?
No, Elliot, the keyboard player, can play many instruments. I think he says I don't play brass, but that's about it.
Okay.
He can, you know, he's a great musician. He had a flute. He busted a flute out, and we were like, yeah, it sounds like, let's do it. Let's go for it. See what it sounds like. And it's interesting. I'll play it first, and now that you've been told that it's there, it's not that overtly obvious. I don't think. Let's see how it sounds. Fits in with the keyboard part.
It really does. The way it blends in with it is really cool, and I like the little inflection that it gives it. He's got a nice hard attack to the flute articulation.
Yeah, he made it really staccato and kind of punchy as much as he could with the flute. I think it's probably a pretty hard instrument to do that with, but yeah. So and it's cool. So you know you. It's like I said, it's not an overt sound, but it does really blend in nicely with that riff in the verse. And then where it really stands out of a flute is at the end. Which is just a nice little ending surprise, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Well, man, Jacquire, just adding all these little elements, you know, this adds little sugar and spice, little ear candy, and more importantly, just adding interest and dynamics and everything to the arrangement. This kind of sets us up really well now. So I guess, you know, essentially the goal, right, with this production is to be able to, now that we're going to jump into vocals, have Spencer be able to hear everything all together, have it feel like he's, you know, recording on top of a record already. Yeah,
as having the track, you know, as developed as possible. You know, you know, we did all this stuff that we've been talking about yesterday and today. I think honestly, you know, it probably took us a couple hours, 2-3 hours to get set up and get to a point where we had an idea and sort of chase down writing the composition, and then getting it rehearsed and kind of getting it to happen. You know, that's what all of this is. We recorded from the very beginning, as we're getting sounds, finding parts, and you know, kind of building. So probably right around here where it says take 9, we just, you know, this is when the tune really started to come into shape, and then so performances leading up to what we captured as the final thing. And then the things that are after it are the subsequent times we played it one more time. We really like this take. We played it one more time. Hey, let's see if we can beat it. No, we all agreed we liked this one better. And then this is from yesterday when they played live on air for everybody.
Nice.
So yeah.
Isn't it? That feels like that's always the case, right? You get the take. Everyone's like, "Yeah, this feels great." Someone in the room's like, "Dude, should we try like one more? Should we just for fun, go do one more?" You go do it, and then I'd say 9 times out of 10, you end up on the take that everyone was feeling originally.
Yeah, that's totally true. But not 100% of the time. So it's worth doing. You know,
absolutely,
it's worth doing. So let's get into vocals.
Awesome. Let's
do it. Should we do that?
Let's do it. So, so what's where do you start? How do you obviously Spencer, you guys have worked together. You kind of know what microphones are sounding good on his voice, but do you typically, when you're working with a new singer, do you have a method for, finding the microphone and preamp and getting all your settings in a row?
I do. So the first thing, now, I know what we've used in the past, but we set up a few microphones because I was curious. I have a new microphone from Singular Audio. It's an F48. It's a copy of a FET 47. I have my Flea 47 that we were using yesterday on the drums. There is an SM7, and then I have the Townsend Lab microphone, the Sphere, and so I've put that on a Universal Audio, the U47 emulation. So I was just kind of curious. We've used SM7 in the past, sort of curious to shoot these microphones out, curious to see how the Singular sounds against the Flea and the Townsend, just because I'm really familiar with the Flea. Yeah. So what we'll do is I'll go grab Spencer and we'll go out in the live room and let's see, we'll get this mic turned on so you can hear us.
Awesome.
And then did we leave the live room talkback mic up? We took it down. That's okay. It doesn't matter. So I'll grab him. We'll go out there and then kind of just introduce him, get him set, and then we'll go through. What I'll have him do is I'll have him sing probably start in the second verse when there's more stuff going on in the arrangement. Have him give me the vocal for the verse, and just make sure I've got decent gain on every mic. We'll go through each mic, and we'll pick the winner. Cool. And then once I've picked that, then I'll pick a mic pre and a compressor.
Awesome.
So we'll go through that process.
Perfect. Yeah, this would be really cool to see, and for everybody that's watching along here at home, this is a really cool process, and I've gotten to see Jacquire do this in real time before. When we were down in LA recording the Cass McComb session, we did a similar process where he'd set up a bunch of microphones and gave each one a chance, and because it affects so much of the vocal tone with the source. It's so important to really match the mic, and it's not just matching a mic to a voice, it's matching a mic to the voice and the song, because each song has a slightly different a different pocket, a different space available, or a different vibe that you're going for. So one mic, the mic that works for you 90% of the time on a certain tune may not be the one. So yeah, it looks like you guys are there in the live room now?
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
Am I in the camera? Oh, yeah, I got overview. Yeah.
There you go.
So this is Spencer.
Hey, what's up, Spencer?
Hi, everybody. Nice to be here.
Spencer is a guitar player and producer in Moon Taxi, longtime friend of mine. We've made a lot of records together. And way back in the day, he showed me a hip hop album he made that he rapped on, and I was pretty impressed with him. So I've been asking him to do this.
That's awesome.
Decades since my hip-hop career,
But now you're getting back in the game just in time.
This is
Getting back in the game, you said.
getting back in the game. This is the third or fourth track we've done, and it's been a really fun process. The tracks come. The band's already basically made the song, and Jacquire gives me a title, so it's kind of like having an assignment, as it were, to put lyrics together to it. Which on this one, I was still finishing things up this morning, so we'll see how this goes.
What's the idea behind the lyrics and the song for this one?
I know. I've already heard a little bit. What's that?
What's the
What's that,
idea behind the lyrics and the vibe for this song?
Side hustle. We're kind of just talking about, like a shell game, just a con kind of thing. And the track, I don't know, that's what the track felt like to me, and he resonated with side hustle, and so he mind expanded on that.
Yeah, it's just a riff on that, and a lot of just braggadocious lines in general that kind of work with anything.
What we will do is go through the microphones one by one. Right now we've got the Townsend lab open, and I will. We've got a little bit of distortion and a little bit of delay that we'll add in, just so that's a good vibe for him and for the performance, and for the sound. That's kind of where we're going to go for the sound. So we'll go through each mic. We'll do a verse on each one and record it.
Cool.
And
Second verse.
Yeah. If that's good with you?
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Nice. So everybody in the chat, as we're kind of going through all these mics, pay attention to the kind of the overall setup that Jacquire's going for. And if there's anything that you guys want to see us try out or preview, drop it in the chat. Let us know. But we're gonna let Jacquire kind of lead here for the first pass, and then once we kind of find a sound, we'll maybe throw him a little bit
Check
of a
1
curveball.
2 2 2 2. Check.
Okay, that sounds good. Did you mute them in the sounds? Yeah. Oh, cool. Thank you. Spencer, do you have a little bit of the effects in your ears?
Yeah, sounds like it.
So,
Would it be cool if we for the first time went through the whole thing,
yeah, that's fine with me.
and just to get my bearings of what is, and then the second time from then on we can just hit the second verse.
That's fine. So, do you still?
Cool.
Should we still stop at the last breakdown sort of verse, the outro part? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go through basically from the top through the C, the first C. Okay.
Right.
Awesome. Just getting set up in here, guys. All right, so what I'm going to do, just in terms of shooting these microphones out, is I'm going to just go with some compression. We already set this up a little bit. I didn't want to try to, organize headphones with on live here with him. So we already kind of set this up. So this is how I set and I'll leave this up so you guys can look at it. This is how I set the compressor up, because we also set up the effects, which we used the raw again and the delay. I just copied the plugins, made the ones that I use this for drums, use this for guitar. I left them in my session. I disabled them, and I made new versions of them for the effects I now want to use, and that's why I printed them, because I can only get 2 virtual effect paths while I'm in ARM mode.
Gotcha.
We're on the Townsend mic first, and like I said, pulled up a 47. I'm not using any Unison pre yet, because I want to pick the microphone first. I just want to use a really clean path and not have it colored by anything.
Yep.
So I'm just really hearing the microphone as close to it as, obviously with the effects we're putting on it, it's going to be a little colored, but I'm getting the truest sense of the microphone before I pick a pre for it.
Gotcha.
So
I had a quick question here in the chat asking about what headphones you're
question.
using for tracking, and how do you overall just minimize mic bleed using headphones?
Well, you're always. A lot of times you are going to get some headphone bleed, and as long as it's not, not too bad. It's usually okay as long as something doesn't change really significantly with the track. And also, typically, you'll see I use a decent amount of compression on vocals. This is maybe a little bit more because it's a stylistic choice, but you know, headphone bleed, you're going to get a little bit, and you know, but when the vocal goes into compression, it pushes that bleed down. You know, it makes it quieter as it's controlling the dynamics of the voice. So it's typically not. You know, sometimes a singer also has to take one ear off to be able to hear themselves in the room and get good pitch. So you're always going to be dealing with a little bit of headphone bleed. The thing is just to try to get the singer, you know, to not have too much headphone volume. That's one of the main things.
Right.
You know,
just don't blast your eardrums and potentially bleed all over.
I mean, another thing that's actually helped. I mean, people have become really used to using in-ear monitors, and so that's also something that really helps because the way they're inserted in the ear, the playback volume is a little bit less. But you know, it really just comes down to striking the balance of the headphones not being too loud and having someone sing loud enough that you can get good gain on the mic and just kind of work through it that way. Other than that, there isn't really any other secrets to that. Because it is just something you generally have to deal with. We'll solo this up and see if we have any significant bleed. All right, Spencer, thanks for your patience. Let's just go from the top. Okay.
One, two. Yo. Front and center, spotlight when I enter. The white flag waving, other side surrenders. I be dropping world enders, mind benders, no contenders. 3-point senders came to silence all pretenders. Now I earn my keep, grafting in my sleep. I'm counting dollar signs while y'all counting sheep. Seeping through the cracks, I'm deep up in these tracks. 3 steps ahead while y'all 2 steps back. Come on, follow the vision, the kids on a mission. No time for indecision where the headline is sitting. Conquer and divide, take it all in stride. Keep it going on the side. Hustle till I die, hustle till I die. Hustle, hustle till I die, hustle till I die. Hustle, hustle till I die. Now I keep it in style, both sides of the dial. Left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile. Living out your wildest fantasies while you're still in denial. And I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I'll be dropping heavy metal. I'll never be settled, always staying on my toes. 2 things at once, that's me, taking it slow. Come on, you know by now I got irons in the fire. Net under net while I'm walking on the wire. Conquer and divide, take it all in stride. Keep it going on the side. Hustle till I die, hustle till I die. Hustle, hustle till I die. Come on.
Is that where we should stop for now?
Yeah, we can cut it out there.
Yo, people,
Excellent.
hey, dude, Spencer absolutely crushed it. That is, so fire.
The word in the chat is you crushed it, man.
He's getting all sorts of fire
Doing my
emojis.
best.
Easy, yep, dude, killing it.
Nice. Very, very well liked. I liked it too. Very much so. Everything cool with the headphones there, Spencer?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's see. I'll just give you, Spencer, I'm just going to give him a little bit of playback just real quick so I can show him what we're doing for effects.
I enter, the white flag waving, other side surrenders. I be dropping world enders, mind benders, no contenders. 3-point senders came to silence all pretenders. Now I earn my keep, grafting in my sleep. I'm counting dollar signs.
So we're just adding a little bit of grit. You know, it sounds cool. He appreciates it. It gives him a vibe, and that's So I'm not committing to that now. It'll have to be a like a post thing that we do, but it's with something that's this aggressive, especially on a vocal. It's probably better to wait anyway,
Yep.
and not commit it. You know, I've talked about how much I'm very, very into the idea of committing to things. Well, I've set it up so we can hear it the way it's intended, but I'm not recording it that way because that potentially could paint us into a pretty bad corner that we wouldn't, with that kind of distortion on the vocal, you wouldn't be able to change it much. And
Yeah,
so
there's
absolutely.
No going backwards once you've distorted that much. But that's actually one of the questions that just came up here in the chat was, with the 176, you're applying a pretty healthy amount of compression on the way in.
Yes.
Is that, can you kind of explain your thought process behind getting the right amount of vocal compression as you're tracking?
Well, this is the dynamic of this is kind of it's meant to be very aggressive. It's meant to be very forward, and there's not a lot of nuance in the dynamic, and we don't desire that, because he's kind of pushing for it, and so I am hammering it pretty good with the compressor, but I'm not really worried about preserving a lot of the dynamics. I do want to sort of smash it down and have it be that way. I mean, I'm not afraid to use a decent amount of compression. I would say that's probably 20 to 30, probably 30% more than I might do on like a sung vocal or a different type of track. But using this compressor in this way, come back to me. It's a 4-to-1 ratio. It's not extreme, and I was messing with the attack and the release and kind of getting it to work with the rhythm and for it to not sound too compressed. It's pretty transparent. So I'm not afraid to compress up to 10 and 12 dB. Now, in a sung vocal situation, it wouldn't be sitting on the compression wouldn't be engaged quite as much because it'd be a different dynamic, and so. It would really just be addressing the loud things, but I'm not afraid, especially with vocal, to compress pretty hard. But it does take the right style of compression and the right compression choice so that it's transparent enough that it doesn't, sort of damage the dynamics and the nuance and performance and tension of the vocal. Awesome.
Already so that's gonna be that's a hard signal to beat already because it fit right in the track, like it fit the attitude of what's around it so well. So I'm really curious to hear what these other mics sound like and how that changes the character of it.
Okay, well let's so Spencer, we're gonna get into checking out. I mean, this is we like this. I know we like this. Ben is really loving it, and there's a lot of positive response to the way this mic sounds. So that's great. So we've started on this Townsend with the 47 emulation. Let's go to a more of a let's go to my Flea 47, which is all the way on your right hand side. Now this has, we're gonna remove that. Let's see. I'll be right back, Spencer.
Go.
So why is it just disabled? Enable? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this one. Copy it over. So now basically I've got the same compression setting.
Gotcha.
So, okay, I got to make sure I have the right input for the Flea. The Flea is 9, so it's set to 9 already. Perfect. Okay. Spencer, can you talk to me? Just talk to me. Okay.
Yo. 1 2 1 2. Check.
All
1
right,
2.
hang on. It sounds like I need to turn your effect sends on. Talk to me again.
1 2 1 2. Yo. Check. 1 2.
Yeah.
Yo.
All right. So, do you want to just go for that second verse, A section, so we have stuff to compare to, or do you want to do that much of the song?
No, we can just do the second verse.
Awesome. All right. So I'll turn my talk back off this time.
So make sure the cue for him that he's not hearing the old track too. I don't know if you had it pre-fader or not.
Thank you, Ben.
Conquer and divide, take it all and strap. Yo. Now why keep keep it in style. Both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I'll never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me, taking it slow. Come on, you know by now I got irons in the fire, net under net while I'm walking on the wire. Conquer and divide, take it all in stride, keep it going on the side. Hustle till I die, hustle till I die, hustle, hustle till I die. Come on.
Awesome, man. You know, me personally, Spencer, I like the other mic better, just feel-wise. Okay, all right, well, that's good. We're in agreement on that. So that's pretty interesting to me that the Townsend beat my Flea 47 in this particular case. You know?
Right,
Now,
47 versus 47.
Yep, pretty great, because that Townsend mic is really cool technology that, you know, allows you to have a bunch of different mics, you know, with the emulations with one microphone. So, but that's the reason that we're doing this, is because, like, in another situation, maybe with Spencer or with another vocalist, you know, the Flea might sound better on that voice. The voice is a really I wouldn't say hard thing. Hard is not. It's a very particular thing to capture, and it's not like putting a microphone in front of a guitar amp or a mic on a snare. There's a lot of nuance and texture and tone. It's a, you know, the body is the instrument, so it's trickier to capture. So Spencer, I'll be right back. I'm going to change. Let's go to the SM7, sir. So I have the SM7 on input 10. Switch this to 10. Okay, so I have a D booster on it, so it's going to require phantom power to get that to work. Well, let's throw this high pass on there. Are you with me, Spence? All right.
Yep.
So, yo. I'm going to make another playlist. Just documenting what's what. You ready, bud?
I'm ready.
Now why keep it in style? Both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. And I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I'll be dropping heavy metal. I'll never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me, taking it slow. Come on, you know by now I got irons in the fire, net under net while I'm walking on the wire. Conquer and divide, take it all in stride, keep it going on the side. Hustle till I die, hustle till I die, hustle, hustle till I die. Come on.
Killer, man. You're definitely getting in the flow of this. I like it. I still hold. I have the same opinion about the SM7, that the first mic, the Townsend's better. Yeah. Okay.
Same.
What's it?
All right.
What is it about? Like, what's the quality difference that you're hearing?
Sure. Well, the quality difference I'm hearing, you know, well, I can, because we just heard the SM7. That's the one that's in my mind. It just doesn't have as much of the chest tone. It also seems like it's a little bit sibilant, you know, a little bit bitier, but in a kind of an irregular way. It's just like I don't really feel like I'm getting the full tone of his voice. And even though I'm pushing the compressor in a similar sort of way where there's a lot of level in it, a lot of compression, it just doesn't sound as full and forward, especially in that sort of, you know, darker, chestier tone, the rounder sounding part of his voice. So it just doesn't hold up and fit the track to me as much. It's a little bit lightweight and kind of too scrappy sounding.
Gotcha.
The distortion, it also doesn't make the distortion sound as flattering as the other mic in my mind.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing, especially, you know, the thing I'm hearing here is that the 176 and the raw distortion, they're both kind of magnifiers, right? They're taking the tone that you're getting out of the mic and through right now we're just going clean in, but it's amplifying, it's magnifying all these little differences. So you're totally right. Like it's activating the raw distortion in a slightly different way. It's giving it less chest, a little bit less of that fullness. Where like we all kind of heard that instantly with the first one. And obviously once we get these all laid down, we can actually go back to back to back and really give it a fair comparison. But I know you know this too. Is like your intuition and also what your singer is hearing, having their feedback, what they're feeling in the headphones, like it's a palatable difference from mic to mic, and oftentimes what hits them best in the headphones is actually going to result in the better performance.
100%, 100%. That's always in this process. It's always a decision that is a discussion. Because I can't really think of a time where I disagreed with what the vocalist wanted or felt the best on microphone wise. Sometimes sometimes there's kind of a close second, or like it's kind of a toss up, and then I might sort of say why I might choose one over the other, and most of the time there's an agreement there. But yeah, but having, like you're saying, Ben, having the vocalist singer feel comfortable and inspired by the sound is going to give you a better result, whether or not you think it sounds the absolute best. If it's kind of a close second but makes them feel better, that's the way to go, because the most important thing is getting the performance out of them.
Absolutely. Nice. All right. So what's this fourth microphone?
This fourth microphone is the Singular Audio. It's made in Holland, I believe. Something I recently got, and I've been liking it a lot. I was really impressed with it. It is a copy of a FET 47, so it's a copy of a non-tube 47 with a what's the right word for that circuit? It's not a tube circuit. It's a Ben, help me. I should know the term. It's not a transistor. It's just a solid state microphone.
Okay.
Condenser mic. Okay, so I need to change the input. So the 48 is on 11. Huh? Oh, 15 in Luna. Thank you, Dawson. Okay. All right. Spencer, you with me?
Yo, 1 2 1 2. Check
All
1 2
right.
2.
Well, this shows a little bit of promise, just in vocal, on the sound of your voice. Oh, I guess they're cutting my lawn outside. It's crazy because maybe the gain's just really hot on this with the distortion. You usually don't hear outside noises. All right. Well, let's rock this and then we'll make a decision.
Yo. Now I keep it in style, both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you're still in denial. And I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I'll never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me taking it slow. Come on, you know by now I got irons in the fire, net under net while I'm walking on the wire. Conquer and divide, take it on the stride, keep it going on the side. Hustle till I die, hustle till I die, hustle till I die. Come on.
Badass. I like that one. I like this one too.
Yeah, that and the Townsend are my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just do a little. Do you want to listen in there, or you want to come in here? Okay. All right. So let's go back to we'll listen to the Townsend first.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's see. I think I need to turn the effects back on. Yeah.
There we go. Make it a fair comparison.
Yeah. So here's the Townsend for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Till I die, hustle till I die. Now I keep it in style, both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking.
Did I mute? I'm sorry. Oh. His cues. Yes, you're right. Sorry. One more time, Spencer.
Oh yeah, he wasn't hearing it.
No, he wasn't. So here's the Townsend.
Till I die, now I keep it in style. Both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. And I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I'll be dropping heavy metal. I'll never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me, taking it slow. Come on, you know by now I got irons in the fire, net under net while I'm walking on the wire. Conquer and divide, take it all in stride, keep it going on the side. Hustle till I die, hustle till I die, hustle till I die. Come on.
I mean, that's pretty solid to me.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the. Let's see, I can't hear you, Spencer.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. So let me switch some things around here, and now we will listen to the singular.
Now I keep it in style, both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you're still in denial. And I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I'll be dropping heavy metal. I'll never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me, taking it slow. Come on, you know by now I got irons in the fire, net under net while I'm walking on the wire. Conquer and divide, take it all in stride, keep it going on the side. Hustle till I die, hustle till I die, hustle till I die. Come on.
Man, I gotta listen to them both a little bit again. Do you have a preference? Oh, sorry. Do you have a preference off that listen, Spence?
That go around, I actually preferred the singular a little bit better. I think the sound of my voice in the Townsend I did like a lot, but maybe for this track it felt like that. The singular
I think I might agree with you. I just
really sat in there nice.
Yeah. Well, what I noticed is that it sort of pushed the distortion in like a nice, consistent, warm way. So let me just do a little quick listen here. I'm just gonna I'll just mute. I'm just gonna mute it in your ears for a second if you don't mind.
Cool.
I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile.
Why is that not playing?
I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you. And I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I'm dropping heavy metal. I'll never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things once, that's me, taking it slow. Come on, you know by now I got.
It's a pretty close contest, but I think I'm gonna go with the singular. Are you still feeling good about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say there's something nice about the Townsend that because of the lights in it, it's all psychological, but it like singing into something that's lit up. Is nice.
Helps you get a lit vocal.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I've used the SM7 and that flea a ton, and the singular. I mean, the Townsend beat those in this case. So, I mean, I think that's a win. It's it's where this is much closer. This is a much closer decision, but I'm with Spencer. I gravitate towards the singular. It kind of just cuts nicely, and it's treating the distortion, the way it's making the distortion sort of activate and participate is really, really good. So let's do that. Let me.
Change pop filter.
Oh yeah, let's move the pop filter over there. Yes, thank you, sir.
Nice. So had the question in chat. People are asking what the difference is between the using the 176, 175 versus an 1176. I know we kind of touched on this a little bit yesterday of how you're loving the new one, but why would you pick this over just going with like the 1176 for his vocal?
So Ben, that's pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I lose you, Ben?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Check. Check 1 2. Jacquire, you got me? Hello. AirPod down. AirPod down. Oh no.
Oh, AirPod down. Hold on.
Yep. is the fun moment in the show
Hold
where
on,
you guys
I'll
can
get-
hear
get-
me.
get it
You can hear
together
Jacquire. Jacquire can't hear me.
Okay, I'm back. I don't know why it went away.
It's an AirPod. They do that
Yeah.
whenever they feel like it, right?
Space pod.
The space pods. Well, so I had a quick question that came in through the chat, wondering, the differences, between using the 176 versus pulling out an 1176. What's kind of the thought process behind picking this over, one of the other compressors?
Well, it's a good question. I have just been gravitating towards using the 176 a lot lately because I have been choosing it more often than not lately. But but I will audition the other compressors. I will audition a couple other compressors, even though I feel like I could run with this. The microphone choice. Let me turn this on for Spencer. The microphone choice is probably the most significant thing, but now that we have made that choice, I mean, in this particular case, I think we demonstrated that that's definitely a significant element of capture on a voice. But so now the next thing is what I can do, and if Spencer will be patient with me, because I've committed the compression, so I can't do that. Sometimes what I will do, and I haven't really done it in this order, but once I pick a microphone, then I'll pick a mic pre, and then once I've picked the mic pre, then I'll use the recorded version because I haven't put compression on it yet to find a compressor. Just for expediency's sake, and because I know that to make this comfortable for Spencer is like, and for my taste on this particular thing, we want to hear it with a lot of compression. That's part of the choice we need to make because we also want to distort it and whatnot.
Yep.
So, once I I'm going to just try 2 or 3 mic pre's really quick. Once I do that and identify the one that I want to use, then we'll try a couple compressors real quick. We'll compare the 1176 to what we have with the 176 because I'm very happy with the 176 right now.
Yeah. Well, it's cool too because basically what we're doing here, and hopefully you guys are picking this up at home, is we're trying things out one at a time. So it was important as we were selecting the microphone to be using the same signal chain for each mic to really identify, great, which mic is giving us the best input. And then just using Jacquire's intuition for the compressor and distortion and delay to help establish, which one are we going to go with? What's our source going to be? So now it's time to define, can we improve on the sound by adding a preamp into the signal chain, again, while maintaining compressor and effects. So that way the vibe to the headphones and the vibe that you guys are hearing is all there, but we're trying to optimize it piece by piece, essentially.
100%, my friend, 100%. Okay, so Spencer, I'm going to now, let's see. Oh, I don't have my headphones on, that's why I can't hear you. Are you there, bud? Yeah. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay, so let's see. Let's we did everything with a 1084. So let's see how he sounds on that.
Right. Good. No better place to start than where we've been starting.
Yep. And I don't know what the gain. Talk to me a little bit, Spencer.
Yo, 1 2 1 2. Check. Yo. Check 1 2 2 2 2. 1 2 2 2 2 2.
So, just give me like the first few lines of the verse. You're like the first half of the verse. You don't have to go the whole verse.
Cool. To the track or just?
Yeah, to the track, because I'm gonna record you. I'll probably record you a few more times here to pick some other pieces, and then we'll be ready and we'll knock some takes out.
Cool.
Now I keep it in style, both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you're still in denial. I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled, always staying on my toes. 2 things at once, that's me taking it slow.
cool deal. You know, I mean, just right off the bat, I didn't like that as much as just the built-in pre. So I'm just gonna, you know, I don't feel like I need to save this setting. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna call up. Let's do. Do we have any? I'll do the API next, just because that's a little bit faster, clearer sounding of a pre.
Yep.
So let's knock this high pass on here. Talk to me a little bit, Spencer.
Yo, check 1 2 2 2.
All right, let's go for it.
Now I keep it in style, both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial, and I keep it on the level, on dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me taking it slow.
Okay, I like that better than the Neve.
Agree.
Ben, do we have a suggestion from the viewers at home?
Let's see. Looking back here through the chat, people are wondering. We did have a question asking about plosives.
Yep.
Do you do any special tricks for plosives, or just throw a pop filter in front of it and hope and pray?
Well, no, I throw a pop filter in front of it. You know, it's just like once we kind of pick this, and if I'm detecting there's a problem with plosives, then I would address it. You know, the thing is like trying to over address, you know, being overly cautious about plosives in a recording can be dangerous, because, you know, you're going to end up having to filter off a lot of low end. Now, you know, I can move the pop filter back. I can get him off the mic a little bit if it's an issue. Haven't really heard anything that's totally bugging me right now. It's nothing that's like overt. I'd rather almost deal with that in post. Once I've got the vocal recorded, if there's a few moments, I'm not gonna. If there's a few moments that's happening, I'm gonna let it go. If it's an overall problem, then I'm gonna make an adjustment before I record. But if it just happens a few times, that's something I can easily go in and just at a moment, you know, address that one specific spot with automated EQ or some sort of, like, you know, rendering the file or using something like Isotope, you know, RX to deal with it. There's a lot of options. So unless it's going to ruin my whole take, I'm not gonna be overly cautious about it right now.
Yeah. All right, so it was a clever trick. I was buying time to get more suggestions.
Sure.
I'd say either Avalon 737. We had a couple of votes for the V76 and a few votes for the SSL as well. But yeah, I think the Avalon, especially since we're dealing
I think
with
they have, because yeah, I mean, we kind of have already done the darker flavors a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay, so
have you used the Avalon very much as a hardware piece?
yeah, a bit. I you know, it's just like it's not quite to my taste generally. What I do love about it the most is the high end, like the
EQ.
The EQ.
Yeah, me too.
Like the you know, this treble knob is probably, to me, is the best feature on it. But it's a good piece. So Spencer, you talk to me a little bit.
Yo.
Fantastic. Fantastic. What's that, Ben? Ben, were you going to say something?
Oh no, I was wondering. So the Avalon's got a built-in compressor on it as well. Are you gonna leave that enabled as well, or just use the 176?
Oh wait, is it enabled now?
Yeah, it's enabled by default.
Wait, the equalizer's on. Wait, where's the? There it is. Thank you for reminding me. I don't really use it that often. No, I'm gonna stick with the compressor I have.
Yeah.
Because I've been pleased with that. I don't want to, you know, for the sake of expediency, because I know we have a hard out here, and really not introducing too many variables into this in this moment. And it's also a compressor that I'm not as familiar with, because honestly I don't use it. I can't actually honestly think of a time I've ever used a compressor in it, so I'm just going to avoid it for right now.
Yep.
But so all right, where are we here? All right, Spencer, I'm ready if you are.
Now why keep it in style? Both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. And I keep it on the level, all dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me taking it slow.
I think the API was my favorite. How did you feel about the? Oh, let's see. How did you feel about that one? Felt a little covered up to me.
It was probably my favorite beside the built-in one.
Okay, really? Okay.
Which was that?
This is the Avalon.
Okay.
The Avalon. So okay, so let me listen to. Okay, well, see, I'm going to take into consideration what he's saying to me. So I'm going to. All right, Spencer, just hang tight for me a second. I'm going to do a little quick listening. All right, so this is the Avalon.
Both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while. Both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest. Both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. And I keep it on the level, all dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I'll never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me taking it slow. But I be dropping heavy metal. I'm thinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. And I keep it on the level, all dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me taking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. And I keep it on the level, all dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me taking it slow.
Okay, so all right.
What are you hearing?
You know, I like. Well, there's three of them that seem like options to me. I was sort of gravitating towards the API. Maybe it was just kind of some clarity that I heard that I was liking after hearing the Neve, because the Neve did sound a little covered up to me. So in my mind, I was feeling attracted to the clarity, and then. The Avalon doesn't have the same kind of clarity, but it does have a very focused mid-range, and it does sit in the track really well. And then I was referencing the very first thing we recorded, which didn't have an emulation in there, which I think is really quite good. But then I've got headphones on and an earbud in, so I took those things off, and because I don't, it's like I use headphones some, but not, it's like I'm very used to sitting here and listening to my speakers, so. I got this stuff out of my ears, and so I could really listen. And kind of going back through them, I wasn't as in love with the API as I thought I was. And then going back and forth between the two, so the Neve, Spencer and I agree is out, right? He didn't indicate that he liked the API, and then so it's kind of between the first and last. And taking my headphones off and listening to the speakers, what I was able to identify is that I'm gonna side with what Spencer's choosing and go with the Avalon, because it doesn't have some of the clarity of the the first thing that we did, but it does have like a really focused lower mid range, which for having that chesty sound that we talked about earlier, and the way that it kind of sits and connects to the track it feels right to me. And I also think it's interacting with the compressor really well, and it's driving that distortion. It's continuing to drive that distortion well with the singular mic. So
totally
okay.
The only other one that's come up here in the chat that people are interested in is the SSL. Would you want to experiment with that one, or just do you have an opinion about how the SSL would fare against these ones?
Well, I mean, that's the thing about voice. I mean, it's much easier to have an opinion about like whether Mike Pre is going to sound on like a snare drum or a guitar than it is on a voice. The voice is just such a unique thing to, each individual person that it's hard to say. I kind of feel like it might kind of live in this Avalon world, but Spencer, you up for a couple more passes before we go for the whole thing? All right, appreciate you. All right, so let's go SSL. Let's just see. Let's be thorough. All right, let's see.
Luckily, the settings for these are pretty easy to dial in. It's just some mic pre and a little bit of filter on the bottom, and you're good to go.
Exactly. Yep, making sure I'm not making any errors. Are you with me, Spencer?
Yep, I got you.
Okay.
Yo, yo, yo. Check 1, 2, 2.
All right, hold on for me.
Yo.
Now I keep it in style, both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. Yo, I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me, taking it slow.
I didn't mind that one. What'd you think?
That one felt good.
Yeah, so let's listen back to the last two that we have.
I think it landed on the Neve. You were on the Neve playlist when you finished recording, so it's going to be on that.
Oh
one.
shoot, okay.
But you should be able to just
Okay,
you should be able to cut and paste it up into there, and the Neve one may actually come back.
Yeah. I screwed up. Here we go.
What?
Listen.
You're not infallible? Oh my gosh.
No, not at all. No, I make mistakes all the time. All right, now I gotta take my earbud out.
Right over your head, and all the while I be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. And I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me, taking it slow.
Interesting.
Okay, I think the SSL is a good choice, but where I'm gonna sort of vote it down is that the upper mid-range that's present in there, it's really the tonality and articulation of his voice is kind of getting up into the tone of where the keyboard riff is, and I don't want that because I feel like that they're going to be really competitive with each other. The Avalon has the same sort of forward punch that I'm getting out of the SSL without that sort of competitive element to the keyboards. So
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with the Avalon. So let me put it back, and then Spencer, we're gonna do one more little pass where we audition a different compressor. A different compressor. And so we're going to take the compressor out. I was somewhere in here. And so we're going to disable this guy. Is there a specific 1176 that maybe I should try? Anybody wants to hear? Just go with the E.
I think they didn't. No one really specified the different which version. What do you have a preference of 1176s between Blue Stripe, the AE, and the Rev?
Okay, so the blue stripe is it's. I mean, I love it. I own the real thing. I love this emulation of it. Oh, sorry, Spencer. Just explaining something. I love the blue stripe. I love this emulation of it. But it's a little bit gnarlier and dirtier of a compressor. So I probably wouldn't go to that because I'm already. It's not as clean as like even the 176 a lot of times, especially I know because of how hard I'm going to push it. I love it, but I don't think it's the right choice in this case. The AE, the limited edition one is really great. I especially love it because it's got the 2-to-1 ratio that none of the others do.
Yeah. And the slow attack
you
as
know,
well.
And yes, yeah. So it's got some this has some feature sets that are really cool. And I think it probably would sound really good. But from my mind is just telling me just go to the old tried and true, revision E. So
Totally.
So let's see. Yeah, we were using 4-1. All right. So I'm almost ready, Spencer. So this is Avalon with 1176.
We're checking out compressors.
Yeah, we're gonna audition just one compressor versus what we've been using. So one more time for me, pal.
Yo, now why keep it in style? Both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. And I keep it on the level, we're laced with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me taking it slow.
Okay, so I didn't quite get it all the way dialed in, but just because I felt like I was fighting it a little bit, I mean, I know that this is a great compressor because it's, I mean, that's not, nobody can argue that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound, to me, it doesn't sound as good in this particular case as the 176. So.
Well, and there's a different character to its sound, right? It's a little faster, it has a different presence to it than the 176, which felt just a touch more natural to the voice.
It does. It's a little gooier. It's got a little bit of that tube sound. It's pretty fast. It can be pretty fast attack and release, but it's not quite as fast as the 1176. So, and that part of that has to do with the tube circuit. But yeah, I'm just preferring this. So we're gonna go Avalon, and 176. So because we're probably just gonna get through a couple takes before we have to sign off. Spencer, yep. One more time just so I can get my level set here in this second verse now because I've been pulling gear in and out of the signal path, and then we'll go from the top, okay?
Sound good.
Sorry?
176.
Dawson is an awesome assistant. He helps me from making all of my mistakes. Now why keep it in style? Both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. And I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled, always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me taking it slow. Come on, you know by now I got irons in the fire, net under net while I'm walking on the wire. Conquer and divide, take it on the stride, keep it going on the side. Hustle till I die, hustle till I die, hustle till I die. Come on.
Fantastic, brother. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the top of the song, and we'll make some more takes. Ben,
yeah.
Since with the time we have left, I think we just make what do you say we make 2 takes, maybe answer a question or 2, and then because I know we have to sign off here shortly.
Well, yeah, there was a great question kind of came in while we're doing this here is, we're kind of auditioning compressors on the input side, so you're committing to the compression. Someone was wondering why not just put it in the monitor path, and that way you could, take a take and then play with the compression after the fact. What's your reasoning behind, recording through all these?
Well, because I want to go boldly. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Well, and also it affects the musicians, what he's hearing, putting it, but committing to it and having that be what's going to the headphones. Obviously it makes an impact on how he's going to perform as well, right?
Yeah, it really, really does. It becomes part of the sound. I have a really hard time. I am so used to recording with the intent that I have of making the sounds that I mean, I'm not even sure I would feel comfortable not using a compressor to record vocal. So it's kind of hard to answer. I mean, it's just I realize I have a decent amount of experience to where I can feel confident in this kind of commitment, but I think it is important at least to use some compression on the record path, especially for vocal, just because it helps it sit and fit, and that's going to help the performer. So so that's just sort of my mentality about it.
Totally. Well, and the other one,
get after it.
The other comment that's keeping coming up here is people want part 3 where we mix this tune on stream. And lucky for you guys, I had the same thought, and we've kind of talked about this. So I think that was one of the things to continue on with the session. I think Jacquire, right? The plan was you'll take this away, polish it up, mix it out how you want it, and then we'd have you come back on for another live stream where we break down the mixing session, kind of go through it, look at all the mix moves that you made, and then this song will actually also be available as a Luna session for you guys to download and play with yourselves, which we were kind of saving as a nice little surprise for y'all. It's a nice surprise. So we will do it as a mix walkthrough. I won't mix it on the live stream, but once we've because Spencer and I have some work to do to get the vocals finished, and then I've got to do a little cleanup editing and do a mix. And once that's done, yes, we'll get back on. I'll get back on with Ben, and we'll do a mix walkthrough, very thorough mix walkthrough, and then we're excited that we're going to deliver this multi-track to you guys the same as we did with the Cass McComb. Yeah, I'm so stoked about that, man. To be able to share the inside look of the session. You guys will be able to pull up the input change just like on the Cass session, the final mix as well. It's going to be a really special thing. So we'll do a little bit of that in the background here, and then in the next couple of weeks or so, we'll be back on and showing you guys, having Jacquire walk you guys through his entire mix.
Awesome, little follow up. Spencer, let's run you down a couple takes, pal. Yes, sir.
Yo. Front and center, spotlight when I enter, the white flag waving, other side surrenders, I be dropping world enders, mind benders, no contenders, 3-point senders, came to silence all pretenders, now I earn my keep, grinding in my sleep, I'm counting dollar signs while y'all count sheep, seeping through these cracks, I'm deep up in these tracks, 3 steps ahead while y'all 2 steps back, come on, follow the vision, the kids on a mission, no time for indecision, where the headline is sitting, conquer and divide, take it on the stride, keep it going on the side, hustle till I die, 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 now I keep it in style, both sides of the dial, left, right, over your head, and all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile, living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial, yo, I keep it on the level, roll dice with the devil, your lines be like weight, but I'll be dropping heavy metal, I never resettle, always staying on my toes, 2 things at once, that's me, taking it slow, come on, you know by now, I got irons in the fire, neck unto neck when I'm walking on the wire, conquer and divide, take it on the stride, keep it going on the side, hustle till I die, hustle till I die, hustle till I die, come on.
Awesome. How you feeling? Feeling good. Okay, great. Anything I need to change for you? You just ready to rock another one?
No, I'm feeling good.
Okay. All right, here it comes.
One, two. Yo. Front and center, spotlight when I enter, the white flag waving, other side surrenders, I be dropping world enders, mind benders, no contenders, 3-point senders, came to silence all pretenders, now I earn my keep, grinding in my sleep, I'm counting dollar signs while y'all counting sheep, seeping through the cracks, I'm deep up in these tracks, 3 steps ahead while y'all 2 steps back, come on, follow the vision, the kids on a mission, no time for indecision, where the headline is sitting, conquer and divide, take it all in stride, hustle till I die. Hustle till I die. Hustle till I die. Now I keep it in style. Both sides of the dial. Left, right, over your head. And all the while I'll be reading books in Portuguese and drinking with a smile. Living out your wildest fantasies while you still in denial. I keep it on the level. Roll dice with the devil. Your lines be lightweight, but I be dropping heavy metal. I never be settled. Always staying on my toes. Two things at once, that's me. Taking it slow. Come on. You know by now I got irons in the fire. Net unto net while I'm walking on the wire. Conquer and divide. Take it on the stride. Keep it going on the side. Hustle till I die. Hustle till I die. Hustle till I die. Come on.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like we got a lot of it in that one. Okay, we have about 10 minutes left. So I'm going to check in with Ben. Ben, what do we need to do here?
You guys just need to understand how crazy good this song is and how much people are loving it. Like, they can't front this. It sounds really good. What can you say? Man, people are. JK is the king. Great couple of days. Song is crazy good. I'd buy the song. Like, yeah, people are absolutely loving the track. First and foremost.
Well, we're going to put this song. The K Club will put this song out at the same time that you can download the tracks in Luna. You know, so it's going to if you're loving the song, you'll be able to buy it too. So that's we appreciate the compliment. I appreciate it very much. I've enjoyed the hang, and I love all these guys. We have such a great time making music together. It's good for our souls. It's been a minute since we've been together because of the pandemic, so
yeah,
it was nice that we could work this out and get together and do this. So
likewise, man, dude, Jacquire, this has been it's been such a. I mean, we called it a masterclass for a reason, because it's been a masterclass of. It's not all about settings. It's not about presets or knobs. It's about the intention, the listening and choosing and making decisions on the way in and as you're recording, and it's really cool to see your process doing that, and then throwing you some curveballs and trying some stuff out and seeing what that process of experimentation looks like as well, because it's such a huge element in discovering and developing a sound for an artist, or even for a particular song. So yeah, it's been crazy educational for, even for myself. I've learned a few things here through the days hanging out with you, and people on the stream they're just so much love in the chat for all the knowledge and information you've been sharing here. And man, it's truly special.
Oh, thanks, Ben. You're one of the smartest dudes I know, and I take that as a huge compliment to say that you learned something from me. So that's great. Dude. I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely, man. Well, yeah, and everyone's super pumped about being able to cop the song, be able to we'll come back, do the mix session, have the Luna session available for you guys. The coupon code is still working. I think everyone's kind of sorted it out now. It's Unison plugins. You can't combine it with like the custom shop or other deals. That coupon, it's actually going to live on till midnight tonight. So if you do, if you share it with a friend or two, I'll look the other way. You guys are permitted to, but definitely have them come and check out the stream, because both yesterday and today, because there's just so much good information in here about tracking a band, about tracking vocals, about the thought process that Jacquire goes through creating this. And of course, the other big thing that if you guys are thinking about buying Apollo, and I saw a few comments fly through there, people who pulled the trigger on getting a new Apollo. Highly recommend that, because you got less than a week before the Apollo Unison promo ends, where if you buy a new Apollo, you get a ton of free UAD plugins. I think it's up to like $2,000 worth of plugins for free with your Apollo. I would, if I was spending my own money right now, I would be jumping on that deal as well, because it's a really great way to get into get more UAD plugins going and get an Apollo interface. So here, let me just scan through the chat here real quick to see if there's any other good questions coming in. Just nonstop love
We're
here.
gonna sign off in just a second.
Super stream. Thank you. Yeah, lots of shouts. Boom. All right, yeah, guys. So you guys in the chat. By the way, everybody watching, you guys are one of my favorite audiences to hang out with. The final mic that he actually went on. The final mic that we chose. What's the model name of that one again?
It's Singular Audio. It is an F48, and yeah, I mean I've had it maybe a month. It's a killer mic. It's a killer mic. It's made in Holland. I'm pretty sure it's from Holland. Yes, and I'm getting a second one sent to me because I want to have a pair of these. So I'm eager to try it on, on like the Glenn Johns technique on the overhead. So it's a killer mic, and obviously the proof is in the pudding. It beat out these other guys, right? Yeah, so it worked.
Absolutely. Cool. Grabbing through here. Nice. Yeah, man, just nonstop love here in the chat. So, yeah, Jacquire, man, it's been super fun hanging out with you guys. Spencer and the entire band, dude, what an awesome group of guys, made for a really cool track. So all you guys know at home too, like this is a surprise to us. Like we let Jacquire and the band run wild, and we know that they're going to deliver an amazing track, and they certainly did not disappoint.
Well, Ben was saying thank you. We're
Thanks
signing
so much.
off.
Yeah, thank you. So happy to be a part of this. The Universal Audio has been a huge part of my music making life, so thrilled to be a part of anything y'all do.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, man, I guess with that, guys, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again, Jacquire, Spencer, everybody involved, all the guys on the back end, Mason, Miles, Matt, Erica, Dan, Drew, just a ton of people put a lot of effort into making these streams for you guys. So it's so great to see you all turn out, and so much fun hanging with you guys here on the chat. And with that, I think we'll sign off and go make some music this weekend, guys. Get inspired, have some fun, and we'll be back here on Monday for another episode of the regularly scheduled office hours. All right, guys, catch you then.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.